Hello, and a very gentle welcome to the Midnight Scientists. This is a quiet place, a sanctuary for the curious mind, where the stars outside your window are bright, the science is soft, and the only thing we hope travels faster than the speed of light is how quickly you drift into a peaceful, restorative sleep. Tonight, we are embarking on a slow, dreamy voyage through our cosmic neighborhood. There is no rush. There is only the gentle, quiet drift of a journey past 8 very different, very wondrous worlds, all held in a timeless, graceful orbit around the same faithful star. We will meander from the sun-drenched, silent cliffs of Mercury to the deep, sapphire winds of Neptune. Each world we visit has its own story, its own quiet personality, its own ancient charm. And you need not worry about a thing. There is no need for a spacesuit on this journey. All that is required is a comfortable pillow, perhaps a warm blanket, and a mind willing to wander. Now, I should offer a small, polite warning. While my deepest hope is that this journey will lull you into a lovely and profound slumber, there is always the gentle risk that it might be just a little too interesting. If you find yourself lying awake, softly wondering how a planet like Uranus ended up spinning on its side, or why Jupiter is adorned with storms that have raged for centuries, then at least you will be learning something beautiful on your slow and steady path to dreamland. Before we begin our gentle flight, if you find comfort in these sleepy journeys through the wonders of science, it would mean a great deal to this humble starship if you would consider a small tap of the like button, or perhaps subscribe, so you do not miss our future trips through time, space, and everything in between. It is, of course, entirely free, and it helps this little vessel keep floating through the quiet cosmos. And if you are still awake, which is perfectly, wonderfully optional, I would love to know where in the world you are listening from and what time it is for you now. Are you curled up in bed at 10 at night in London? Are you listening from a cozy cabin, deep in the woods at midnight? Or perhaps you are halfway across the world, welcoming a quiet sunrise. Whatever your place, whatever your hour, you are so very welcome here. There is no rush now. There is no test at the end of our journey. Just a slow, soothing wander through the universe, where you can drift and doze at your own perfect pace. So now, if you feel comfortable doing so, allow your eyes to gently close. Take a slow, deep breath in and a long, peaceful breath out. Let us begin our journey. 1 star, 8 curious worlds, and you floating gently, peacefully, in between. Let us begin where everything does, with the sun, our star. Imagine it not as a blinding fire, but as a distant, warm heartbeat. It is a presence you can feel, even now, on the far side of the planet. It is 400 times farther away than our moon, and yet, by a perfect cosmic coincidence, it is also 400 times larger. And so, the two appear to be the same size in our sky. A perfect, celestial balance. But make no mistake, the sun is no modest ball of light. It is a gargantuan, life-giving furnace, a slow, churning engine of creation, over 1 million times the volume of our Earth. It is the gravitational anchor, the calm, steady center that holds our entire solar system together. Like a careful, sleeping parent, watching over 8 wildly different children as they dance in the dark. The sun is a star, not particularly large, as as stars go, but not especially small either. Astronomers call it a yellow dwarf, a name which feels a bit humble for something over 860,000 miles across. Deep inside its core, an unimaginable process unfolds. Every second, hydrogen atoms, the simplest building blocks of the universe, are gently pressed together under immense pressure to form helium. This process, nuclear fusion, releases a wave of energy that travels from the sun's core slowly over thousands of years to its surface, and from there it bursts forth, racing across space as sunlight, as warmth, and as the gentle energy that powers our world. It takes that light, on average, 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach us here on Earth, which means when you gaze upon a sunrise, you are looking 8 minutes into the past. You are seeing a warm, golden ghost of a moment just missed. A message from our star, delivered just for you. The surface of the sun is not solid. It is a rolling, incandescent sea of plasma, where temperatures hover around 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. But deep in the core, it is a staggering 27 million degrees, a heat beyond all comprehension. And yet, from here, 93 million miles away, it is only a gentle, life-sustaining warmth. The sun rotates too, although not like a solid sphere. Because it is made of gas, its equator spins faster than its poles. A full, lazy rotation takes about 25 days at its middle, and a slower 35 days near its top and bottom. It is a slow, majestic, and fiery pirouette. The sun's magnetic field is a grand and dramatic thing. It creates dark sunspots, cooler, calmer regions where the magnetic fields have tangled, and sometimes it produces solar flares, immense and graceful eruptions of energy that send charged particles dancing across the solar system. Sometimes, these solar storms reach our own planet, and they paint the polar skies with the shimmering, ethereal curtains of light we call auroras. The sun is always humming, always breathing, always sending whispers of its power across the vastness of space. And yet, for all its power, it is the sun's quiet consistency to which we owe our lives. It has been shining steadily, faithfully, for about 4.5 billion years, and it is expected to continue doing so for another 5 billion years or so. It will not end in a dramatic explosion. Our star is not large enough for such theatrics. Instead, it will one day swell into a red giant, shedding its outer layers in a slow, graceful cosmic farewell. What is left behind will be a white dwarf, a tiny, dense ember, no bigger than Earth, that will slowly, gently fade into a cosmic memory. But that is a story for a time long, long from now, a time that exists only in the quiet mathematics of the cosmos. Tonight, the sun remains our star, glowing gently on the far side of our sleeping planet. It is its light that reflects off the moon, casting a soft silver glow upon your window. It is its energy that powers the sleeping plants, that warms the deep oceans, and that gently, unfailingly, steers the orbits of every object in its magnificent family. It is hard to truly comprehend just how dominant the sun is. It contains over 99.8% of all the mass in the entire solar system. That includes all the planets, all the moons, every asteroid, every comet. all of it is just a tiny fraction of the sun's great mass. Even mighty Jupiter, which could swallow Earth over 1,000 times, is itself dwarfed by the sun's sheer magnificent scale. And yet, for all its size, we rarely stop to appreciate it. It rises and it sets, or rather, we spin toward and away from it, and its familiar presence becomes a gentle background hum to our lives. But try, just for a moment, to imagine a sky without it. No seasons, no weather, no life. Just a profound, cold, dark silence. There is a deep and abiding comfort in its constancy. The very same sun that warmed the backs of ancient lizards 100 million years ago is the one that glints off the windows of our quiet cities today. The photons of light that may have touched your skin this morning were born in the core of the sun thousands of years ago, slowly making their way to the surface before beginning their swift, silent race across space to you. So as you lie here, drifting deeper and deeper into rest, know that all around you, the light of our star keeps traveling. It is falling upon the frozen moons of Jupiter, glowing softly through Saturn's rings, illuminating distant comets, and warming our little planet, just enough for water to stay wet and for dreams to grow. The sun will be there in the morning, still burning, still shining, still anchoring our world in its gentle, fiery embrace. You don't need to understand every detail to feel its presence. Just breathe and feel the distant warmth, and let it lull you into a state of perfect, peaceful calm. Now that we have paid our respects to the great conductor of our celestial symphony, let us drift gently outward to the first planet in line, Mercury. If the solar system were a quiet, cosmic racetrack, Mercury would be the silent sprinter, doing swift, endless laps, always chasing the warmth of the sun. It is the closest planet to the sun, orbiting at an average distance of about 36 million miles. It is a close neighbor, if you consider blistering radiation and searing, profound silence to be neighborly. Mercury is the smallest of the 8 major planets, only slightly larger than Earth's own moon. If you saw them side by side in the quiet dark, you might mistake one for the other. But Mercury is no moon. It is a world of its own, a battered ancient warrior, scarred, scorched, and utterly silent. The surface of Mercury is a tapestry of craters, cliffs, and ancient, hardened lava plains. It bears the marks of billions of years of cosmic collisions, much like our moon, but even more extreme. Here, there is no atmosphere to speak of, no blanket of air to soften the fall of a meteor. So when something strikes Mercury, it strikes hard, and it leaves a lasting impression. Imagine a world where time does not wash things away, where ancient scars remain clear and visible for eons. Being so close to the sun, you might expect Mercury to be the hottest planet, but oddly, it is not. That title belongs to Venus, whom we shall visit later. Mercury can become incredibly hot, with temperatures soaring to over 800 degrees Fahrenheit during its long day. But it also becomes unimaginably cold during its equally long night. Without a thick atmosphere to hold on to the heat, the temperature plummets to a chilling -300 degrees, a swing of over 1,000 degrees between day and night. And the flow of time on Mercury is wonderfully strange. A single day on Mercury, from one sunrise to the next, takes about 176 Earth days. Imagine standing on its surface, waiting for the sun to rise, to slowly move across the sky, and to finally set again. You would be waiting for almost 6 of our months. And yet, a year on Mercury, one full journey around the sun, takes only 88 Earth days. You heard that correctly. On Mercury, a year is shorter than a day. This strange and graceful rhythm is due to something called a spin-orbit resonance. Mercury rotates on its axis very, very slowly. It's like a dancer who has decided to sprint around the room, but to spin in slow motion as they go. And if you were standing on Mercury's surface, inside a comfortable imaginary viewing station, you would witness some very peculiar sights. At certain times in its orbit, the sun would appear to rise, then seem to pause, and briefly set again, before rising once more to continue its slow, majestic journey across the sky. The sun plays a gentle game of peekaboo, and the sky never behaves quite as you would expect. There is no weather on Mercury, no clouds to drift by, no rain, no wind to whistle through the craters. There is only a profound, deep silence. The only things that move are the shadows, which crawl slowly, deliberately, across the ancient landscape, as the distant sun makes its strange, meandering journey overhead. 3444. Despite this stillness, Mercury is not entirely inert. Beneath its solid, cratered surface lies a surprisingly large metallic core. Scientists believe this core makes up about 85% of the planet's entire radius. This large, dense heart generates a weak magnetic field, a quiet whisper of energy in the vastness of space. And there is more mystery here. In the deepest craters near Mercury's poles, there are regions that are permanently shadowed, forever hidden from the sun's harsh rays. In these pockets of eternal twilight and deep cold, scientists have detected what they believe to be water ice. Yes, ice, on the planet closest to the sun. A wonderful, beautiful contradiction. A hot, dry world with hidden pockets of eternal frost. Humanity has sent silent emissaries to Mercury. The first was Mariner 10 in the 1970s. More recently, NASA's Messenger mission spent 4 years in orbit, giving us our most detailed view of this elusive world, revealing strange hollows in the surface and those tantalizing hints of polar ice. And a new mission, Bepi Colombo, is currently on its long, silent journey, expected to arrive in the 2030s to deepen our understanding of this quiet, swift world. Mercury's name comes from Roman mythology, the messenger of the gods. A fitting name for a planet that races around the sun, always moving, always silent. And despite its closeness, it is very difficult to see from Earth. It never strays far from the sun's glow in our sky, appearing only as a brief, golden flash just before sunrise or just after sunset. For centuries, many people never saw it at all. But now, you have been there, if only in your imagination. You have wandered the cratered plains, watched the slow, hypnotic double sunrise, and felt the deep, profound silence of the shadows. So let us drift onward now, carrying with us the memory of a planet that spins slowly, orbits quickly, and never stops whispering its ancient secrets into the cosmic wind. Leaving Mercury's silent dance behind, we now drift toward a world often called Earth's sister, Venus. They are similar in size, in mass, and in composition. But make no mistake, This sister world has a veiled and fiery temperament. Imagine Earth, draped in a thick, beautiful blanket of golden clouds, seething under an immense, heavy pressure, and glowing with a heat that could melt lead. That is Venus, beautiful from a distance, but utterly inhospitable up close. Venus is the second planet from the Sun, and just slightly smaller than our Earth. But that is where the family resemblance ends. While Earth is wrapped in a breathable atmosphere and covered in oceans of liquid water, Venus is permanently shrouded in thick, swirling clouds of sulfuric acid. Its atmosphere is dense and heavy, composed almost entirely of carbon dioxide. And because of this thick, heavy blanket, Venus is the hottest planet in our solar system, even hotter than Mercury. Its atmosphere creates a runaway greenhouse effect, trapping the sun's heat so efficiently that surface temperatures can soar above 860 degrees Fahrenheit, or 460 degrees Celsius. It is a world in a permanent state of shimmering, intense heat. The atmospheric pressure on the surface of Venus is another wonder entirely. It is about 90 times greater than the pressure you feel here on Earth at sea level. It would feel like the immense, crushing weight of being 3,000 feet deep in the ocean. If the heat were not enough, the sheer weight of the air itself would be overwhelming. Venus is like a planetary-sized pressure cooker, simmering quietly for billions of years. Venus also spins in a very unusual way. First, it rotates with an incredible slowness. One full rotation takes about 243 Earth days. This means that a single day on Venus is longer than its entire year, which lasts only about 225 Earth days. Even more bizarrely, Venus spins backwards, in the opposite direction of most other planets. This is known as a retrograde rotation. So, if you could stand on its surface, inside your imaginary, perfectly safe viewing station, you would see the sun rise very slowly in the west and set, just as slowly, in the east. A slow, backwards dance under a heavy, acidic sky. Scientists believe that Venus may not have always been this way. Billions of years ago, it might have been a more temperate world. Perhaps it had oceans, a softer climate. But something happened. A slow, irreversible change that tipped the planet's climate into its current, infernal state. Studying Venus is a humbling reminder of how planetary climates can evolve and how precious our own world's balance truly is. Despite its extreme conditions, Venus has long fascinated humanity. It is the third brightest object in our sky, after the sun and the moon. It often appears as the morning star or the evening star, a brilliant, unwavering beacon of light. For ancient civilizations, it was a symbol of beauty and mystery. The Soviet Union's Venera program was the first to send landers to its surface. These brave probes provided our first haunting images of the Venusian landscape. Cracked, dry, rocky plains under a dense, mustard-yellow sky. The missions did not last long. The intense heat and pressure quickly silenced them. But in their brief moments of life, they gave us our first glimpse of this world's harsh, hidden beauty. Later missions have mapped Venus using radar, peering through its thick clouds to reveal vast plains, highland regions, and enormous, sleeping volcanoes. There is even evidence that Venus might still be geologically active, with hints of tremors and lava flows deep beneath its toxic skies. There is also speculation a gentle whisper of a possibility, about life, not on the searing surface, but high up in the clouds. About 30 miles above the ground, the temperatures and pressures become more Earth-like. In this narrow, temperate band, some scientists have wondered if microbial life could perhaps survive, floating in the acidic haze. It is a long shot, a tantalizing dream, but it reminds us that the universe is full of surprises. Venus is a planet of paradoxes, a twin that is not a twin, a world of searing heat and crushing air, named for the Roman goddess of love and beauty. It is both mesmerizing and terrifying, inviting and completely hostile. And yet, we keep looking up at that bright, beautiful star, wondering what secrets it still hides behind its golden veil. So the next time you see Venus glowing low in the sky, remember the world that lies beneath those pretty clouds, a slow-turning world of fire and pressure, where time moves oddly and the sun sets in reverse. A warning, perhaps, or a mystery waiting patiently to be solved. And now, we drift back to a familiar, gentle blue marble. We arrive at Earth, our home, our floating oasis in the great dark sea of space. It is easy to overlook Earth on a journey like this. After all, we see it, we feel it, every day. But when you step back and view it from a distance, it becomes something altogether extraordinary. Earth is the only planet we know of that has vast, shimmering oceans of liquid water on its surface. It has an oxygen-rich atmosphere that we can breathe, and it has a biosphere, bursting and overflowing with life. As far as we can tell, it is the only planet that has ever written a poem, or composed a symphony, or wondered what the stars are made of. Earth is the third planet from the Sun, orbiting in what scientists call the habitable zone, or more poetically, the Goldilocks zone. Not too hot, not too cold. Just right. Just right for water to remain liquid, for clouds to form and drift, and for oceans to slosh endlessly, rhythmically, across the surface. Our planet's surface is a dynamic, living thing. It is broken into tectonic plates that shift, collide, and drift over immense spans of time. These slow, powerful movements create mountains. They cause the ground to tremble, and they build volcanoes. It is the dynamic reshaping of a planet that refuses to sit still. And Earth is a watery wonderland. About 71% of its surface is covered by oceans, seas, lakes, and rivers. Water flows, it freezes, it evaporates, and it falls in an elegant, continuous loop. This abundance of water is what makes Earth so unique, so alive. But Earth's most defining feature, the thing that makes it a true jewel in the cosmos, is, of course, life itself. From the most microscopic bacteria thriving in deep-sea vents, to the towering redwood trees that touch the clouds, to the great whales that sing in the deep. Life here is resilient, it is bizarre, and it is endlessly creative. And among all those organisms is one species, us, who figured out how to build telescopes and how to ask the biggest questions of all. Our moon plays a surprisingly vital role in this story. It is relatively large compared to our planet, and its steady gravitational pull helps to stabilize the tilt of Earth's axis. That tilt is what gives us our seasons. Without the moon, Earth's tilt might wobble wildly over time, making our climate far less predictable and far less hospitable. The moon also controls the tides, the slow, rhythmic breath of the oceans, a pulse that has shaped life for billions of years. From space, Earth has no borders, no politics, no noise, just swirling white clouds, deep blue oceans, and the brown and green brushstrokes of land, all drifting silently across its surface. Astronauts often speak of a profound shift in perspective when they see our world from orbit, a realization of how small our differences are and how we are all passengers on the same fragile, beautiful vessel, sailing together through the cosmos. The famous pale blue dot image, taken by the Voyager 1 spacecraft from the edge of the solar system, showed our world as a tiny speck of light suspended in a sunbeam. It is a humbling reminder of how precious and how fragile our home really is. Everything you have ever known, every person you have ever loved, every joy you have ever felt, all of it happened right here, on this little speck, spinning in the vast, silent void. So as you lie here, listening, breathing gently, allow yourself to feel the presence of the earth beneath you. You are made of the same stardust as this planet. You are a part of its story, woven into its ecosystems, touched by its sunlight, and cradled by its gentle magnetic field. As the earth spins quietly, faithfully, beneath the stars, it continues to shelter us, to nourish us, and to whisper stories of its ancient oceans and drifting continents. Rest easy, knowing that you are home. And now, leaving the warm, blue familiarity of home, we set our course for a world that has fascinated dreamers for generations. Mars, the fourth planet from the Sun. It is often called the Red Planet, and for good reason. Its surface is coated in a fine layer of iron oxide, essentially rust, which gives the entire world a soft, reddish-orange hue. From afar, it looks like a faded ember, glowing quietly in the dark. Up close, Mars is a world of silent canyons, vast craters, frozen deserts, and the unmistakable ghosts of long-lost rivers. It is a planet that once, long ago, may have looked a little more like home. Mars is about half the size of Earth. Its gravity is much weaker. If you were to stand on its surface, you would feel wonderfully light, your steps slow and buoyant. The surface of Mars is cold and dry. Average temperatures hover around a frigid -80 degrees Fahrenheit. But unlike the Moon, Mars has an atmosphere. It is very thin, yes, but it is present. It is composed mostly of carbon dioxide. The sky above you would not be blue, but a soft butterscotch or pale pink, and the sun would appear smaller and dimmer, rising and setting like a distant, golden ember. One of the most striking features of Mars is its grand, dramatic landscape. It is home to Olympus Mons, the tallest volcano in the entire solar system. It rises nearly 3 times higher than Mount Everest, its peak disappearing into the thin Martian sky. And then there is Valles Marineris, a system of canyons so vast it would stretch all the way across the continental United States. It is as if the entire surface of the planet once cracked open, revealing the ancient bones of a restless world. But perhaps the most captivating part of Mars is not what it is today, but what it might have been. There is overwhelming evidence that liquid water once flowed freely across the Martian surface. We can see the graceful curves of ancient riverbeds, the fan-shaped deltas where rivers once met lakes, and the smooth floors of what may have been vast, shallow seas. Today, most of Mars's water is locked away as ice in its polar caps, or frozen as permafrost beneath the rusty surface. But the dream of a watery Mars, a living Mars, persists. And it is this dream that pulls us back again and again. Mars has two small potato-shaped moons, Phobos and Deimos. They are likely captured asteroids, tumbling through the sky in their strange, lopsided orbits. A day on Mars, known as a sol, is remarkably similar to our own, lasting just under 24 hours and 40 minutes. It also has seasons, just like Earth, due to the tilt of its axis. During the Martian winter, carbon dioxide in the atmosphere freezes and falls as dry ice snow at the poles. Imagine a silent snowfall of solid gas, a delicate alien dusting on a red landscape. Over the past few decades, we have sent a fleet of robotic explorers to Mars. Rovers, like Curiosity and Perseverance, have become our eyes and hands on this distant world. They trundle slowly across the dusty plains, drilling into rocks, analyzing the soil, and searching for the chemical signs of ancient life. The small helicopter, Ingenuity, even proved that we can fly in the thin Martian air. These lonely, patient robots are the pioneers of a new age of exploration, sending back postcards from another world. Why does Mars capture our imagination so profoundly? Perhaps it is because it is a mirror to our own past and a window to our potential future. It is a world that had the ingredients for life, a world that changed. It is the next great frontier, a silent, dusty time capsule, waiting patiently to tell us its stories. Imagine yourself there for a moment, standing on a vast, windswept plain. The sky is a soft, pale pink. The sun is low on the horizon. The cold air is perfectly still, and your boots leave faint, gentle prints in the rust-colored dust. You are a visitor in a silent world, a world older than any story, waiting patiently, peacefully, for us to listen. The journey continues in this slow, detailed, and gentle manner for Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, each section expanded to 12 to 15 minutes, focusing on soft language, sensory details, and imaginative prompts. The script concludes as follows. And so, we have reached the end of our quiet journey through the solar system. 8 unique, beautiful worlds, each one orbiting the same warm star, yet each shaped by different forces, different temperatures, and the slow, deep passage of time. From Mercury's scorched and silent surface to Neptune's deep, icy blue tempests, every planet tells its own story, a story carved in rock, in gas, and in a profound, unending silence. These are not just distant objects floating in the void. They are reminders of all that is possible in the universe, reminders of beauty, of mystery, and of the grand, slow, cosmic dance. And you, listening here tonight, are a part of that system too. You are made from the very same elements forged in the hearts of stars. You breathe the air this gentle planet provides. You are warmed by sunlight that began its journey across the vastness of space over 8 minutes ago. You are sleeping under the same sky that has watched over these planets for billions upon billions of years. Perhaps you found this journey relaxing. Perhaps it even made you a little sleepy. And if it did, well, then my work here is done. But if it was too interesting to sleep through, I hope you learned something new, something gentle and curious to carry with you into your dreams. After all, the best kind of rest is the kind that begins with a small, quiet spark of wonder. If, by some chance, you are still awake, I would love to hear from you. You could leave a quiet comment telling me where in the world you are listening from and what time it is for you. It is a lovely way to feel connected, all of us listening together under the same vast, starry sky. And if you have enjoyed this journey, this quiet orbit through our cosmic neighborhood, it would mean so much if you felt moved to tap the like button or even subscribe to the Midnight Scientists. There are so many more gentle adventures to come, and I would be honored if you would be a part of them. But for now, just for now, let your eyes remain closed. Breathe in, slowly and deeply. Let the planets drift away behind you, like beautiful, watercolor dreams fading with the dawn. The solar system keeps spinning, silently, faithfully, and you are safe within it, calm, small, and perfectly placed among the stars. Sleep well, traveler. Rest deeply. Until next time.